anything else? Anything else you want to talk about, Tim, before we go?
I think it was a great event, first of all, that we had 10, 20 people each day, and I think people learned things. I think people were challenged by things, including you, pink noise, whatever the case might have been, and all this stuff. And
I don't even know those challenges. You know, sometimes people have questions, and I welcome the questions.
Right.
You know, I love the questions because I talked to Sean about it, and it really makes my I guess my pitch about Magic Beans. It makes, you said bulletproof. And
if somebody's going to go in and be like, okay, well, what about this? And you're like, oh, you know what? I didn't. It's really just getting like another set of eyes on it, right? Like, you can plan. Like when we were making the disc, you know, we got this guy Jeremy over here. Well, I would really like a section where I have to make Chana do like 20,000 hours extra of work. So that's one of the like favorite that section, Jeremy. HiFi, bro. That's one of the sections people like the most.
Yeah.
So
it's about listening, right? Sometimes you got to just humble yourself to be willing to listen and possibly be wrong. See, that's the risky part is you have the possibility of being wrong. But what people just aren't aware of, I don't know if everybody does this, but I welcome it. I'm like, please show me how I'm wrong. Like, I would love for somebody to show me how I'm wrong, because that means I can fix something, or I missed something. I can make something better.
Right. Like it's something that's overlooked. Like I wouldn't have thought of that at all.
And he's not just playing lip service here, because he was saying that to Chris Walker and Justin and everybody else that was there. It's just like, hey, show me where I'm wrong. Show me why this philosophy doesn't work. So
yeah, and they did have legitimate questions.
Yep.
And it's good because I have the answers to those questions. Why? Because I had those same questions. You know, that's the thing. You have to be the hardest on yourself. You know, a lot of times, just like, you know, of course I want to give you guys a product that's awesome, right? And that means beating out all the bad things, you know, so that you guys don't have to try it out and say, oh, this is a problem, and then I'll go and fix it. No, I'd rather deliver it as good as possible, you know. So that's why it took me a while to do. Yeah. As far as like, you already knew the method. You have it on you've had it on your system for a while. So you know what it could do. I'm just trying to think of you know, what was interesting is a lot of people seem to like have no idea what it did. And that's they're like, I heard Magic Beans and I have no idea what it does.
House curve something.
It's something about house curves, and it's
like,
supposed
what
to make
is
the
a house
system sound
curve?
better. But how do I use it? Do I need anything else? Do I need multi-QX? Can I do it with, you know, there's a lot of questions. And so it helped me kind of clarify, you know, to myself and hopefully to you guys what it actually does. And so it's really actually very simple. It's a measurement method using your phone or a computer, using a UMic 1 or other calibrated mic, where you measure in various positions and measurements that you don't typically do, right? And that's the key. It's a measurement that certain types of measurements and certain methods of measurements that you don't typically do that helps us determine the correct target curve. That's really the secret of it, right? And it's not going to be a secret for very long. It's not going to, I mean, in a week or 2 weeks, it's not going to be a secret. Everybody will understand once they start to use it. Oh, I see. I get it. Right. But just know that typical calibration just doesn't do the correct measurements or enough measurements. And so we're able to determine the actual target curve for your room, in which case you can plug that target curve into Dirac, let's say, and you'll just get a more natural sound because it's not a generic target curve. It's your target curve, right? And so it's pretty simple. You import it into Dirac as your target curve, and that's it. If you use Audyssey, then you would likely need multi-QX, and from Multi-QX, you would import the filters instead, not the target curve. You'd import the filters, and it would make the corrections to make your speakers sound as good as possible. And the interesting thing is we did some before and after measurements of the speaker itself, you know, before and after we did the Magic Beans calibration, and the speaker actually measured flatter or more accurately or more similar to that JBL speaker.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's what's interesting. So hopefully that kind of gives you a better idea. You know, it makes your speakers more accurate, and it makes your speakers more accurate above the transition region. We figure out what the transition region should be. We equalize the bass so it sounds more natural and appropriate for your room and your main listening position. And it just integrates with your existing room calibration. So you don't have to really buy anything new. If you already have a U Mic 1, you don't have to use REW, you know, just the app by itself. And that's it. That's all I got. Woo. Stay tuned. Maybe a week or two, I'm going to start sending out the invites for Magic Beans for the beta testing. And we'll go from there. Make sure to join us every Monday for our live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Daily HiFi.